mentioned Jay-Z, you mentioned Irv Gotti.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at the time, they were probably in their teens.
Yeah. Jay had just turned 18. I didn't even cut you off like that.
Right. How did you come to be involved with the music?
Well, I met Jay. I think he had. What he was like? I think Jay was like 15, and my man Nike from the Mighty Shirt Kings. You know, him and Jay lived in the same building, and I was just coming home from not the joint. So I was just coming home from Old Dominion. I went to school for 2 years at Old Dominion University in Norfolk, and I basically dropped out. I didn't want to do that. You know, I wanted to rhyme.
What was your major?
Huh?
What was your major?
It was nothing. It was supposed to be accounting, but I didn't go to class enough to have a major because I didn't want to do it. I was doing it to please my mother and my grandmother, and I went through with it, but I had to look at myself and say like, yo, I can't let them live their life vicariously through me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I got to live my own life. And it was hard to do because they both had done and have done so much for me. You know what I'm saying? So it was difficult for me to be like, yo,
that's not what I want to do. It's
quiet. Yeah, I ain't doing that.
You don't want to disappoint them.
Exactly.
Right.
So I came home from college and, you know, I got me a job. One of my boys, Ron Henley, he hooked me up with a job, made me an assistant dispatcher at this company called A Better Messenger Company. Yeah, my memory is kind of like long ago. Is kind of good.
That's what I'm about to say. You remember names and everything.
Yeah. Because they my people and you know my people. I remember. So basically, damn, I lost track.
Better Message.
Yeah, Better Messenger Company. So I came back from school, and Nike was telling everybody. Shout out to Nike, by the way, and shout out to all the Shirt Kings here and no longer here, but with us in spirit. So Nike was having a conversation. I say conversation, but he said he was arguing with somebody, and he was talking about, yo, Jazz is the best MC, and he was like, yo, it's this young kid, and you know his name wasn't Jay-Z yet, you know, so people was calling him Shawnee D, because his name was Shawn, and you know everybody had like a D, because D and B, you know, made it sound bolder and strong. Yeah, more robust.
Or Ice this, Ice that.
Right. Yeah. Ice is like slick.
My first rap name was Ice A.
Yeah.
For no reason.
What was it?
It was Ice A. There was no A in my name. It was just
Ice A.
That's how I didn't even see that.
I was like 8 years old. Like, I'm Ice A.
Can you imagine him right now?
What? You don't want it.
Hell no.
You don't want it with Ice A.
Ice A.
Seems like a lot of light skin cats at Ice A.
That's low blow.
I was a light skin man. Come on, man.
I'm just saying. Image, man.
Right.
So, but yeah,
Shawnee D.
Yeah, so, you know, and shout out to Jay, by the way. You know, love all the time.
Right.
That's good to hear.
So always. So Nike was going back and forth, and some cat was saying like, nah, you know, this young kid, Shawn, he was like, and Nike was like, yo, I don't care. Jazz is the best. Jazz better than everybody. And that's not even a paraphrase, that's a quote, you know. And you can find him and he'll tell you the same thing. So he's kind of like the deal maker or the broker for like all of this stuff, because there's other stuff that went on. But long story short, he set it up to where we met on my side in the driveway, like when you come, like this is Park Avenue, and then the driveway where you going through all the way through to all of the buildings.
Right.
So we met there, and so he's like, yeah, we gonna see who the best. And, you know, Jay was there and he was like, yo, who
What did it look like at the time?
Huh?
What did both of y'all look like? You had the flat tops, you had the, what was the vibe then? Like,
I'm trying to think if I had a flat top yet. I know I had a fade, but the flat top wasn't really accentuated yet.
right.
You know what I'm saying? It was in development and shit.
Was it Fila velours? Was it the Cosby sweaters?
Fila velours. It was the it was warm, so it was like the Hawaiian shirts was popping back then.
Hawaiian Sophie.
No, exactly. And the other print shirts and you know, and it was just around the time like the flared out leaves. You know what I'm saying? So it was around that time. So that time was kind of just leaving, you know, with the flared out leaves.
Right.
And so we was like, they were like, who gonna run first? And they looked at Jay and he was like, and I shrugged my shoulders, I don't care. And then I was like, shit, we ain't gonna be here all day going, you know, shrugging our shoulders and shit. So, you know, as a show of strength, not to like bombard anybody, but as a show of strength, I was like, all right, I'm gonna rhyme first. And I rhymed and everybody was into it. But the difference was it turned out to not really be a battle. It was more like a display. It was more like a joust, if you will.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So a display of skills, but I wasn't like going at him like, yo, your sneakers is turned up and you know, you got 2 jump shots left and you know that type of shit.
And a layup.
You know what I'm saying? And so I rhymed, and then he rhymed, and what had impressed upon me was the fact that he was the first person I ever heard rhyme that reminded me, you know, as far as cadence, vocal projection, and all that shit of myself. And, you know, I wouldn't, and I'll never say this shit, you know, that he was as good as or better or any, and I'm not saying that because it's a fact. I'm saying because me as a lyricist, I'm never gonna give that shit up to anybody. That's just how it is.
This period.
Yeah, because all of it is really opinionated anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And nobody could be the best you, but I could say, I mean, you know, but I mean, we all know Jay's career and his accolades, business-wise and creative, you know what I'm saying, speaks volumes for who he is. So, but at that time, you know what I'm saying, I was like, yo, yeah, this young nigga, you know, a little rough on the edges, but
he shocked you.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah. So at the end of that, I think we rhymed 2 times a piece, and you know, and
that's all it took.
Yeah, because we wasn't rhyming against each other. We was just like, all right, I'm a rhyme, because we were waiting for niggas to break out so we could be like, yo, let's write some shit together, and that's what we started doing.
Right.
We started writing shit together.